What if I told you that the man who became the most powerful person in the world once couldn't even afford to pay his credit card bills? That Barack Obama, before becoming president, faced struggles so intense that they nearly broke him? Stay with me, because what you're about to discover will completely change how you see America's 44th president. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the untold story of Barack Obama's darkest moments. The failures, rejections, and personal battles that shaped him into the leader we know today. But here's the thing. There's one particular struggle that almost ended his political career before it even began, and I'll reveal that shocking moment at the end of this video. Make sure to hit that like button if you're ready for this journey. Subscribe for more untold stories, and ring that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. Before Obama was giving speeches to millions, he was being rejected by Harvard Law Review. That's right, the future president was initially turned down by the very publication he would later lead. But this rejection wasn't just about credentials. The truth is, Obama's mixed-race heritage made him an outsider in multiple worlds. He was too black for some circles, not black enough for others. This identity crisis would haunt him for decades. But there's something even more devastating that happened during his college years. Picture this, a future president of the United States maxing out credit cards just to survive. Obama's student loans were crushing him, and his credit was so bad that he was once denied a rental car. The man who would later manage a trillion-dollar economy couldn't manage his own finances. But here's what most people don't know. Obama's financial struggles weren't just about money. They represented something much deeper. His absent father had left him with more than just emotional scars. And speaking of his father, wait until you hear about the devastating letter Obama received that changed everything. But first, let's talk about his biggest professional failure. In 2000, Barack Obama ran for Congress and lost. Badly. He was defeated by Bobby Rush, a former Black Panther, who crushed Obama's campaign. But the loss wasn't just about votes. It was personal. Rush called Obama an outsider, questioned his authenticity, and labeled him as someone who was not one of us. The defeat was so humiliating that Obama considered quitting politics entirely. His wife Michelle was fed up with his political ambitions. Their marriage was strained, and their finances were in ruins. But there's something even more shocking about this period. Obama was battling a secret addiction that very few people know about. And no, it's not what you think. Barack Obama was addicted to cigarettes. For over a decade, he was a chain smoker, going through pack after pack. But this wasn't just a casual habit. It was a coping mechanism for the intense pressure and stress he faced. The addiction was so severe that he would sneak cigarettes even during his presidential campaign. Secret Service agents had to accommodate his smoking breaks, and he would often disappear from events just to get his nicotine fix. But the smoking was just a symptom of something deeper, a man struggling with imposter syndrome on a massive scale. And this brings us to the most devastating moment of his life. Remember I mentioned a letter from his father? Here's what happened. When Obama was in his 20s, struggling with his identity and purpose, he received a letter from his estranged father in Kenya. The letter was supposed to be a reunion, a chance to reconnect. Instead, it became one of the most painful experiences of his life. His father, Barack Obama Sr., was an alcoholic whose life had spiraled out of control. The man Obama had idealized, the man he thought might have answers, was broken. When Obama finally traveled to Kenya to meet his father's family, he discovered the full extent of his father's failures. Multiple marriages, abandoned children, destroyed relationships, and a legacy of pain. Obama realized he was looking at a possible version of his own future. After his congressional defeat, Obama hit rock bottom. He was in debt, his marriage was struggling, and he was questioning everything about his life. Michelle had given him an ultimatum: choose between his political dreams and his family. There was a moment, sitting in his small Chicago apartment, where Obama seriously considered walking away from everything. He later described it as the dark night of the soul, a period where he felt completely lost and defeated. But here's the thing about rock bottom. It's also the foundation for rebuilding. And what Obama did next changed not just his life, but the course of American history. The turning point came in 2004 when Obama was asked to give the keynote speech at the Democratic National Convention. But here's what you don't know. He almost said no. He was terrified of the national stage, convinced he would fail. The speech that launched him to national prominence was written and rewritten dozens of times. Obama was so nervous that he barely slept for weeks. But when he stepped onto that stage, something magical happened. For the first time in his life, all of his struggles, the identity crisis, the financial problems, the political defeats, the family issues suddenly made sense. They had prepared him for this moment. Here's the truth about Barack Obama's struggles. They weren't obstacles to his success. They were the foundation of it. Every rejection taught him resilience. Every financial crisis taught him empathy. Every personal battle taught him authentic leadership. The man who became president wasn't successful despite his struggles. He was successful because of them. His pain became his power. His failures became his wisdom. And his struggles became his strength. So the next time you're facing your own struggles, remember Barack Obama's story. Remember that the man who became the most powerful person in the world once couldn't pay his bills, was rejected by his peers, and felt completely lost. Your struggles aren't your story's end. They might just be the beginning of your greatest chapter. If this story inspired you, smash that like button and let me know in the comments. What's the biggest struggle you've overcome? Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more untold stories of resilience and triumph. Your support means everything to this channel. And here's a question for you to ponder. If Obama's struggles were preparation for his presidency, what might your current struggles be preparing you for? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.